So there is that shloka 400 and odd, which talks about Vasana. So we have already completed that shloka. So I had asked one question to all of you. Do you remember the shloka where we spoke about Vasana? So anyway, I was telling her that in 1999 I got a job in US. So the H1B visa was to be processed, and so many things happening, and ultimately they had to file for bankruptcy because of Y2K issues and all that, and then that didn't happen. Okay, but the fascination for going to US was there for a long period of time, and then anyway I went to US and all that happened. And recently, a few days ago, one of my student in Google, he became a citizen of America. So he had sent me the American flag and his documents and all that, just to show that he's now a citizen, but there is no change in his attitude and other things. He has given up his Chinese citizenship and is now taken American citizenship, and he had to take a oath saying that he will now protect America from all external and all that, and he will do a defense in case required, and he will take a gun in case he has to safeguard his country and all that. He was asking me that, is it right to do all of these? I said, yes, if you want to have a citizenship, then you need to do it, but internally you don't have to take it or all that. But however, I was observing within myself when I saw the American flag, what happens in me. So there was a little bit of flutter, not really a good flutter, but a little bit of flutter happening. That I was observing, and that there is a very subtle vasana, if not a real, that means impression, rather than a huge impression like what I used to have in 1990s. That kind of impression I don't have, but still I had this impression of being in America. So I was telling Lata that the number of followers have been from America more than anywhere else. So yesterday night I got one follower. He is from Brooklyn. He is from North Carolina, and he is a district judge. So it's fun. So the vasanas are still working, in my opinion. So that's all about it. Yeah, Lata, you want to say something?
No. I was just closing that link.
Okay.
No, that's true. Actually,
I think
yes, but continue.
No, I'm not very clear about the vasana what you said. Your vasana you are talking, or about their vasana?
No, not their vasana, but it is my vasana. See,
your vasana. Okay.
I have affinity towards America.
Yes, then yes.
Okay, and even though it is far reduced than what it used to be when I started my career and all that, and then that fascination of being in America, that has remained. So few days ago, when the student of mine from Google sent me that he became a citizen, there was a little bit of flutter in my heart. So glad that he is that shouldn't come. So the symbol is still there, meaning that American flag symbol is still there. Okay, and that is, I'm not saying it's harmful or good or bad, but that is in vasana. So we were discussing about how vasana turns itself into samskara and how karma happens. So now if I look at it, the number of people, number of followers in the other channel what I have, maximum of them are Americans. Okay, number one. Number two is that group is increasing exponentially. Let's say it increases, and then two things are supposed to happen. Either I am supposed to be there in the US, or they are supposed to be meeting me, either which way, or in the next lives to come I need to be in America. So it's a disaster actually if I keep on promoting or putting energy towards that. So that needs to be eliminated or extinguished. That's what I was telling Lata yesterday.
So your prarabdha has brought you back to India, right?
Yes.
So whatever the taste you have, is it possible to change that prarabdha? No.
No, everything is prarabdha only, but the place of stay and what is your body constitution and how the food and etc. Everything is prarabdha.
Yeah, but in that case, if you have strong desires to stay here, it may happen this birth, or it may happen this life, or maybe next life.
Yes.
But currently, yes, currently you are disconnected. That's yes, agreed.
Yes.
But during that time, or after that, had you tried? There was a possibility to come back here, right? Yeah, this life itself.
Come back to America or India?
America.
America.
Sorry, coming to America. America.
Yeah, you are there in America, so you are now saying there. So
yeah. So coming.
Yeah, coming to America. Yeah, there is a possibility.
America was still possible, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Even though Prarabdha says you had free will, with that free will, with the karma, there is a possibility to pull you here.
Yes, there is. Even now, there is a possibility of getting pulled there for one reason or the other.
Now, I'll keep asking few questions.
Yeah, sure.
Now with that, you are in India, so Prarabdha brought you India.
Correct.
You are happy or you are unhappy with that?
I'm not at all unhappy of anything. But
are you happy?
I'm happy, but in 1999, it was so strong. The intent of being in America was so strong that every day I used to remember being in America. I was supposed to join as software engineer on VB, not VB.net. At that time, .net was not there, and it was COBOL and Visual Basic with Unix. Okay, so I was selected and everything was getting processed. I married in 98, so I was telling my wife that pack your bags, we are going to America. Okay, and from there I was supposed to join another company. So this is a consulting firm, and they said that we'll bring you here. You work with us for 1 year, and then we will make that company where you are going to work to absorb you. So everything had happened. So the contract it went to the contract stage and appointment letter and visa, to have the H1B visa and H4 visa for my wife and all that was getting worked out. And in the meanwhile, they filed a petition and it went off and they couldn't get it, and then some visa fraud and something had started in 1999, and then they couldn't proceed further. So otherwise, by now it would have been 20 plus years in being in America.
Correct.
Right. So
but still, your vasana of driving to spirituality would have continued under somebody.
Yes, maybe or may not be. So now what happened is like it didn't happen, but that few months of my dreaming of America.
Yes.
Right, and then it had gone so, what I can say, had gone almost insane of America. That my parents thought that, and my in-laws also thought that they need to take my horoscope and show to the astrologer to say that when is he going to fly to America or whichever country, because he's so obsessed with that. So that vasana dipped off in 2004, but I went to America, started flying to America from 2006. So ultimately, it took 5 years from then to be in America anyway. Okay, and it never dwindled, meaning it kept on making me to go to America every now and then, but not as an employee working in America. But other than that, used to fly all the time. Okay, so that means after leaving the job only, this fever has gone. to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So that means 2013.
Correct.
2013 only these things have happened, right? So when I was looking at that American flag, because my house here at present have 2 American flags given by my boss.
Mm.
And every person who used to come here, we used to host them, and so they used to come here, have dinner and drinks and all that. So everything used to happen regularly. So anybody coming to India, they would come to my home, and then we go out and all that. So that connect with those colleagues over there and here was a 7.5 years journey of that kind of culture. So if I were to see that this fever has ended from 2013, now we are in 2022, 9 years. It's very recent. So when I saw that flag, it fluttered in my heart. So I was seeing that, oh, the Vasana is still existing. Not to that level, but it is there. So I have to work out to eliminate that. Otherwise, it creates an impression. That impression is going to create samskara, and that will create karma. So I will do a karma bandhana in such a way that either in this life I will go to America or stay for a long time, or next life or whichever life I will be born in America.
Now you don't have any such feelings.
Now I don't have, but I used to have, is what I'm telling. So yesterday I was explaining to Lata.
But now whether you are in US or India or anywhere doesn't make difference.
It doesn't make any difference now, but still that symbol, that 50 star symbol, the moment I saw
impression will be there. Still impression will be there, right? That memory.
That impression is a very subtle impression, which can...
See, the thing is, if you love, say, for example, Apple products or something, that indicates that you have something close connection with this latest technologies, and technologies from promoted from US, so that connection will be there. We should not be so much fond of even technology.
Correct. I shouldn't be of anything. There shouldn't be any fondness. If there's some fondness is there, it will create Kamaloka.
Yes, correct.
So then in the Kamaloka, again, that means you will not achieve the full liberation. It will be only realization, and again coming back to whichever world. So I was looking at that, and I explained this to Lata yesterday. So we had a good time discussing about. And I was telling her the maximum number of followers are American. So we don't know that if they ask me, and she was saying that you might be called to give some lectures there in America. Might happen.
Actually, Vilas, yes, the people who are working in these advanced countries, they know very clearly what they need. One is professional life, no doubt. The other one is their hobby. And if they have a hobby of spirituality, they somehow create the space and manage. But in India, creating that space is a little challenging.
Correct.
When you come home, it is very tough.
Yes, that is true. Anyway, so let's proceed on the shloka. Yeah, Srihari, you want to comment anything before we go to the shloka?
Yes, Vilas. Yeah. So one thing is, it could be to churn out your karma bandhana also, maybe. Right? So, for example, maybe I was in Saudi for a couple of years. I was not unaware that I will be going to Saudi at some point of time, or I was not having any interest at all. But somehow I went there, and then there were a couple of situations where I was in. It gave me an idea that maybe it was because of some purva karma that I had to come here and then let it go. Maybe that could also be the reason, in whom hands and in a situation that I have fallen in. Maybe that also could be a reason, right?
No, that is the reason. That is the reason. But what I'm not talking about the reason. I'm not looking at why I was there in America. It is the fascination, meaning it's a passion, the raga, which gets created because that of America.
But how come it can happen, that kind of a raga, for many people, I mean, if you see at least in Andhra Pradesh, here every alternate family has one member in US.
Correct.
So how can it happen for whole of people? Is it really a vasana, or is it just kind of a kind of a cloud that passes? And eventually that, this generation, earlier generation, they were not at all any things about going to US or UK or whatever. So was there no vasana in the earlier people?
No.
Earlier,
Okay. Now we will. It's a good topic. So forget the shloka. This is very nice. So I'll tell you what vasana is and what is not. You leave the concept of America. What is required is greed or something to possess, right? So now you would, or that person would like to enjoy what he possesses.
Yeah, when you say possess, it is kind of bhogam, right?
Bhoga, yes, bhoga only. So it is bhogaishwarya, right? So if you use that word, bhogaishwarya. Now, when you get the bhoga out of your punya, there is no problem. But when the bhoga is desired, that is, I need it. How does that need work out? Let us say somebody gone to US and he brings in an object from that country saying that, oh, I brought one Walkman, let's say. So 20-30 years ago, Walkman was something which nobody had in India. Or 40 years ago, let's take. Okay. So somebody from there brings a Walkman, or he brings a radio, or he brings a transistor, or he brings something from that country, where the greed will start, the raga will start in that person to possess that, right? See, out of 10 people who sees that product, 9 people will get attracted because there is raga in them. Now, what will happen here is that person will explain that this is available in that place. So the vasanas of the past hold on to it, right? It latches on to it because you can buy that. While in India, by this place, wherever you are, you cannot buy that. Even if you want it, you can't buy it. And another concept of for us is that we want to pay less price and have the product. It's not that you don't want to have it. We will then convert it and say that this costs so much, and then that thing will fizzle down, saying that why should I pay so much? But when an American buys in America, he buys the product at their rate, which is so cheaper. So if somebody does an exchange rate valuation, then the product is the same. So then there is no raga as such. But when the exchange rate manipulation happens, then there is this greed to save and greed to have. Both will come. Okay. So what eventually happens is the vasanas of all the people will start to get emerged out. So one family person goes and he is very rich. When he comes back after 1 year, let us say one Telugu guy comes, and then he becomes very polished, and so he brings in a lot of different t-shirts and trousers and this and that, and so much of baggage, and he gives to each person. Now the raga in that person's would make that they should also be there, and the quest to go there starts.
So it need not be going only to US. It could be
anywhere to get that. Yes, anywhere to get that. Anywhere. Okay. Is it like, lot of Gujaratis or a lot of Punjabis go to Canada, a lot of Gujaratis go to Canada. And in fact, when I was in America, I used to feel it is more of a Telugu country than America. Because everywhere Telugu you can speak and you can really manage well. So I used to feel, my goodness, so many Teluguites in this place. Like when I went to Microsoft, the whole campus, if I take, of Indians, at least 60+% are Telugu. And when we go to that pantry to eat, you can hear Telugu people. Then you will hear Tamilians, you hear Gujaratis and Kannada and all kind of people being there. So it makes you feel at home. So all the vasanas of those people have come down to America. if we were to take that, because the product is there, then you can accumulate, you can do whatever you want to do. That is how this works really. So it need not be America, it can be anywhere, any place, which will get you that greed.
So the ultimate thing of greed is what is the ultimate thing of greed? I mean, so
Ultimate
it leads to
thing-
the agami karma.
The greed will create enough vasanas, that lobha will create enough vasana, because if you look at this Arishad Varga, it starts with kama. Kama in simple terms is to enjoy the senses, right? So let's say somebody returns from US and he brings an iPhone. Even let us talk from today's perspective. Let's say somebody comes from America and he flashes the iPhone, and that person's 10 friends are seeing the iPhone. 4 of them will say, wow, such a nice iPhone, and if I were to buy this in India, would cost 84,000 rupees, let's say. And he says that, you know what, how much I paid this much. So the karma starts there. Okay, the sensual, that is, I want to touch that phone and make it mine, starts. But I don't want to pay so much money. So I will, if I'm that person, I'll ask that friend of mine that next time when you come back, can you get me one iPhone? He'll say, yeah, why not? I can get it for you. Now I'm desperate. So karma will transform itself into krodha, because if he's not bringing it, I'm becoming angry, or if it's delayed in getting it, I want it now. So then third one is lobha. Okay, the greed. What the greed does is that it starts to create vasana, meaning it starts to scratch the mind to possess at the earliest and keep it, meaning keep on enjoying it. So you get it and then you want the next one. So like that becomes greed. So kama, krodha, lobha, moha. So the fourth item is moha. So that makes the happiness in that mobile or laptop or that place or whatever it is. So then moha. And then the fifth one is mada. Mada is to feel so much intoxicated into it, into that product or into that country or into that people, surroundings, etc., etc. Matsarya is stinginess. You don't want to let go of it. You want to hold it, keep it with you. So this is how the lobha will create the other 3 friends. And then the person is completely lost in that. So lobha is the one which creates vasanas.
Okay.
Yeah, Shreya.
Okay, Vilsha, thank you.
So now in my case, I had a lobha earlier in 99. Right, and then there was a movie which had come at that time called America. So I was so eager to go and watch that movie. So in 98 it had come. So it is a Kannada movie about, and then I had watched it, felt so nice. Wow, this is the place I need to be in, etc. So the dream of going in America started from 97 and ended in, let's say, 2013, if I were to take that, because it has taken so many years of this vasana. So all the spiritual things what I have is after exhausting this. So I can say, yeah, I have exhausted that karma. But when I saw this this flag, it fluttered. It means a very small portion of vasana still exists, even though now I don't have any differentiation between India and America or any place. But still that a small, meaning a bija or a seed form is still existing. It can erupt. So basically, if there is vasana, I will do some samskara, some actions, or some intentful things which will then create the karma, new karma. Exhaustion is over. So like you were in Saudi, if you don't feel like going back to Saudi and you've forgotten all about it, then there's no problem. But let's say somebody speaks about Saudi and you start to relive that Saudi, meaning how you were and how things were and all that, you're creating new vasana. Because the vasanas are still there in a bija form or a seed form. No worries. Good. Okay, so then we have to, I think we have to do the 443rd verse. So it says, Vijnata Brahma Tattvasya Yatha Purvam Na Samshritaha Asti Chet Na Sa Vijnata Brahma Bhavo Bahirmukaha. Okay, Vijnata Brahmam Brahma Tattvasya. Tattva means the essence of Brahma, for whom he has realized the essence of Brahma. Yatha Purvam Na Samshritaha. As explained in earlier verses, there is no reaching out for the sense objects. Asti Chet Na Sa Vijnata. In the case where there is, know that there is no Brahma Bhavo Bahirmukaha, realization of Brahman, but it's just outer show. What it really means. If there were to be even a single vasana, even in the seed form, like I was talking about fluttering of that flag, it still is going behind senses. That means that person is not liberated. So if I take myself right now, I am not a liberated person. I might have realized, but it doesn't mean that I have got Jivan Mukti. So this is an acid test for Jivan Mukta. Is Vijnata Brahma Tattvasya Yatha Purvam Na Samshritaha Asti Chet Na Sa Vijnata Brahma Bhavo Bahirmukaha. It's only an outer show. So what I am talking about Brahman and all that and would become just an outer show, but internally that idea of being in a particular place exists. Anything you want to discuss, or I can move to the next one?
Yeah, it shows how difficult it is to remove the vasanas.
Yes, absolutely.
And there would be hundreds and hundreds of ones which we know and which we don't even know as well.
Exactly.
So that is the reason I think it's easy to realize, but then it's so difficult to be a Jivan Mukta. And that's also the reason why it is very, very, very rare, the Jivan Muktas.
Yes, because the vasanas are going to be tormenting.
Yeah, it keep coming up, and there will be many, many things, even small things, what you kind of food you eat, where the places you want to go, the places you want to work with, the kind of people you want to associate with. Many things comes up.
Yes, absolutely. And there is always a sense of attachment.
Correct.
And that happens, the vasanas are strong.
Yeah.
So now my job would be just to observe. Okay. And,
Right.
And in this observation, I was shocked yesterday when this person messaged me, and I find that he's from America again. You see how the vasanas play out. I'm really fascinated. We just spoke yesterday, and this morning, yesterday morning we spoke. By evening, an association is made. This is very weird, actually. But that is how vasanas work. So that means if the fruit is getting created, it happens instantaneously. That's the thing. Anyway, the 444th verse is on vasana itself. So let's see.
In this itself,
Yeah.
one question.
Yeah, sure.
See, the person who has understood Brahma Tattva, for him there is no samsara bandhana.
Correct.
So now, when you are in the middle of the samsara bandhana, and you know the Brahma Tattva, enlightened, now in the samsara you have children, and you have to give them the shape, children. If they are small, what is their future, you have to decide. Initial part. After reaching 16, they are independent. But till 16, how you are nurturing them? Whether are you identifying them as they should acquire this modern education and follow the American path, or give them a spiritual and say that follow what is really needed for spiritual. A Brahmajnani, what kind of decisions he will take if he's a part of samsara? He cannot be completely detached there because it's a responsibility to make samsara is running in a efficient way. I'm talking about samsara means his own family, if he is having 1-2 kids.
I'll give you a live example right now. See now, whatever experiences I'm having, I'm sharing with my wife and son. Okay, they're witness to whatever I'm having every day. And that video what I had sent about one person trying to stay in that ice cold Himalayan region without any warm clothing. He showed how to do it, right?
Yeah.
If you have seen that video of 17 minutes, he has shown how to do it. And why these mantras help in that direction also he has said. That means there is a practical insight. And he has also used the thermal camera. I sent it to my son. Anyway, his exam is tomorrow, but otherwise whenever he is wasting time, he never comes forward and asks me, tell me how this works. Because his vasanas are so strong, even though he is in his earlier lives, he wanted to be born in a very spiritual family. So he has got the most nicest life. That means he doesn't have to worry for anything. But yet, that interest has not dawned in him as of now, because the other vasanas have covered it up for him. So now if you were to ask me this question, do you want to bring your son as an American or an European or an Indian or whatever it is, it's definitely dependent on his vasana. So if he's attracted to something, you cannot stop it irrespective of whether he believes in that or doesn't believe in that, because those vasanas will take over anyway. So he has a modern mindset. In fact, some years ago, or not a year ago, it's 1 year ago, we used to have a lot of fights regarding Ayurveda and modern medicine, wherein he used to say that it is a quackery. Ayurveda is a quackery, even though he has taken the same course. He used to feel that there is no scientific evidence of any of these what they claim, and in the modern medicine everything is there. Okay, so it took him 1 year to understand that everything is dependent on law of karma, nothing to do with quackery or whatever. So now he is slightly better. Otherwise, we used to have hours of discussion on this subject. And I used to tell him patiently about everything. And then he used to feel that it is just a theory. There is nothing scientific about it. So, but you can do what best you think you can do, because it's your vasana which is driving you towards this kind. But that same might not be the case with the other person, because his vasanas will drive him in his kind. Yeah, Lata, you wanted to say something?
No, I didn't want to say anything. I'm just listening. Something moved probably, yeah.
Okay. So the thing is that we all want the people around us, like the family members, to behave like what we think they should behave. But actually there is two kind of behavior. One is a transitory behavior which is conditioned. So you will just behave because then there is rules and regulations or norms or practice or tradition or whatever it is, and you just follow. But deep inside is something what you follow out of vasana. So then what should happen in reality is that there should be a transformative change in the person from internal, not from external. That means that person genuinely feels that he needs this, and then there is a transformation, because then the vasanas have ended. Otherwise, that being will be doing due to societal compulsion or a traditional compulsion or some compulsion, and that's what we do everywhere. When we come to the job, we work because there is a compulsion from the organization. When we at home with family, there is a family compulsion, and when there relation, there is a relational compulsion. Then when we call whatever we call a society, the societal compulsions. So we behave in a manner which will show that you are actually collaborating to it, but in real sense, the vasanas are playing out. Did I answer your question? But
Okay, see, the thing is, we have two kids, for example. One kid is more interested going in the route of earning money. Okay. And the second kid may be interested in more of spiritual.
right.
Now, when you have two kids, you are enabling both to do whatever they are interested, or you are getting the other. You are being a spiritual person. You are taking the first person who is interested more in the materialistic life also into spirituality.
No, you can't do that, because you will give him or her.
Now, looking at you, see, the thing is, at that early age, through a lot of stories, there are so many ways to pull. That you will start using it, because you
Yes.
know that spirituality is good compared to the materialistic life. So you will try to do that. Later on, if it's going out of your hands, anyway, no control.
No,
But
it is.
you will do that, right?
Yes, absolutely. See, in the formative age stages, that is from first year to, let's say, 18 years, or even
Yes.
20 years, you would do whatever best, right? So you will say why this is done, why that is done, and all that. But if the vasanas are the other way around, that person will be doing just because of a norm, but he will not be doing out of his own interest, or his or her own interest. So it won't be the case. So when the person leaves the home and goes somewhere, then that real vasanas will take over, because now this whatever pretentious thing will go away, and it will show a hole between what the person truly is versus what the person was conditioned to believe. That, let's say, I had the same son, what I'm talking about. Now in his formative years, we have given him so much of information on every kind of mantras and this and that, and why this we do this way, that way, but it has not sunk into him. I'm not saying he's bad, but whatever the thing we have given has not. And even now, as we speak, he keeps hearing. He has never felt an urge to, let us say, if he is having 2 hours of time. Now he is 21. He doesn't feel the urge to open the video and listen. While a lot of people across the globe want to listen, but he doesn't want to do that. Now, I can't feel bad or happy or sad or anything about it, or force him, saying that, look, 100 people are hearing, so why don't you also hear? His vasanas shows it for himself, right?
Yeah, I think that is true. So we ourselves only know what we are really within the mind,
Exactly.
and that's where the transformation has to happen, not outside.
Yeah.
So, and then that is also true. You cannot force anybody. And in Bhagavad Gita also it is told, don't force people if they are not interested. So
Yes.
they have to play out their vasanas, and they have to naturally come to this.
Yes. Whether they come in this life or not, that is secondary. But it.
Yeah, correct. And that also depends on the vasana. So that has to come up, and then it has to gain strength, and it has to take over from the other vasanas.
Yes.
So it is not possible to force anybody into spirituality, for sure. Whatever is the age,
Yes. It doesn't
young
really matter.
or old, or it doesn't matter. So
Doesn't matter.
it has to come from within, and that thing has to happen from within, and then you will only know what you are. But actually, if you don't observe, no, you don't even know yourself properly. You don't even recognize that what you are inside. So
Exactly.
you just go in that automated way. You may do some things because some society expects us to do. You may not do some things, but then your mind will be doing something. But you are not even conscious of all that unless and until you really start introspecting yourself. Then you know what you are, and then the transformation will happen. Should happen. Then only when the full transformation happens, then we can say that we can reach that Jivan Mukta state. Otherwise, we don't even know ourselves, I feel. At least I did not know myself, I am sure. Maybe you know here and there, but not in the real sense.
Yeah, see, but another example I can give is the last week's happening about that flutter. I wouldn't have noticed it in my earlier state at all. Now I can notice it. That's a difference. So the transformation here is that in the earlier instance, it wouldn't have even had any thing there. So it would have been natural, normal, because that is what I wanted. But now, since I'm able to see the gap, so I can see that, oh, my heart is fluttering. That means there is still interest inside. So that can be seen. And you become very open for anything. Otherwise, there will be pretension. Now, the thing is, there is no pretension. So as it happens, I'll inform. So it has to happen to the person automatically. So it's all play of vasana only. Nothing can be done. Impressions have to go by itself.
Then it actually, when you think that way, it frees you. So you feel okay. Even your children are also driven by their vasanas. Of course, you have to guide them and all that. But then in general, those will take over. So even if I consider three of us, my brother, my sister, and me, three of us are in three different mindset altogether. So, but that we were from the same parents, we lived together and all that. The same kind of upbringing, everything was the same. But then they became three different mindsets altogether.
Yes, because of the vasana only.
Because of the vasana, correct.
Yes.
So I think it is the same. So I think and then you really deeply look into it, then you also find that actually you just came into that family and then you are calling those two people as your parents and then siblings. But actually you are alone, all alone by yourself, even though you feel that you have everybody. Whatever misery you have, you will have to undergo by yourself only, because other people cannot understand or even know the depth or breadth of whatever you are undergoing, even the physical, mental, or anything. Even the joy you are feeling, you will not be able to share fully with others. So, in any way you look, actually you are alone.
Yes, you are
Even
all.
if you are surrounded with all people, but still you are alone with your mind.
Yes, you will encounter everything as alone. No matter whether you have 10 children, one child, or a lot of friends or no friends, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, correct. So this is my conclusion I came to.
Yes, you're very right, Lata. See, I'll tell you what. I sent the same videos and everything, whatever I've sent to all of you, to all of my cousins, including my wife and my son. Okay. What is the expectation? If I were to set an expectation, at least my wife will respond immediately and she'll say, "Wow, this is good." She did not. Okay, now I had to tell her, have you watched this video? She said, yes, I watched little bit. Now I will watch later. I was doing something. And then she watched. And she watched the second video. I told her, what did you understand? She said, I did not understand anything out of it. What is that you want me to understand out of this video? Then I told her, look, the consciousness is like that, what you're seeing there. Okay, like the thermal camera, what is being shown, that's what consciousness is all about. It is going, coming and going and coming and going. So when you think something, it gets heated up. When you don't think, it gets cooled down. So the thermal, whatever we are seeing, is just that energy, right? So there's nothing, no person. Then she said, yeah, this makes sense. And that's all. They ended the matter. So I just sent to around one group around 20 people, another group around 40 people. So I've sent to 60 people, including what we meet every day. And I have not heard anything out of that, even from one person. So the vasanas can be seen. What is that he or she has understood about that? Is the question.
Yeah, I have read this in some of the books. The wet blanket, some sannyasis, they will cover themselves up with, and then using their yogic technique, they will dry out completely that.
Yes.
So I think there are some scientists who has gone to check how's that possible. So I have read this before also, that it is possible to cool your body and heat up your body as you wish. These
Absolutely.
are all siddhis.
Yes, and it can be created through mantra. So I just sent to see, at least that interest is there. Forget our spirituality. Oh, from mantra you can do all of this. Not even one person has got back to me saying that how this can be done. And so I was wondering, that is how asanas work. So now what's the, see, in the case of my wife and son and my mother-in-law who staying here, they listen to this every day. Now, after not this 1 hour thing, whatever I experience, I'll go and inform my wife that this is what I experienced, this is how to do it and all that. So she listens. But has anything changed in her life? I'm not saying she's not spiritual, but is she doing anything to change the situation to herself? She says, I'm working out. Then I tell her that, and I ask her, what are you working out? Then she says that I can't tell you everything what I'm working out. So I leave it. So nothing can be done. That means I cannot change somebody's vasana. I can only change my vasana, like what Lata was saying, that we are all alone. So we have to do things alone only. Even though you seem to have a family, there is no family at all.
Yeah, that's an illusion. So
Nobody is there for you, to be honest.
correct, exactly.
And you are not there for anyone also.
Yes, correct. You can't do whatever you do. You can't be there for anybody in the real sense.
Yes, they will play out theirs, you will play out yours.
Right. Physically you can help. Okay, so all that is possible.
Yes.
But I'm saying in the real sense. But physical is only one small part of it.
Yeah, I can sit next to her and I can hold her, or I can hug her, or I can be with her, I can help her to move around and all that. But pain and pleasure, both of them, I cannot feel it myself. Like, if somebody were to say, I want to have the labor pain myself, I want to see how my wife gets into labor pain. That can never be experienced by a man. No matter how much experiments he'll try to do, and to see that how to not have labor pain. Or if the woman were to say, I don't want to have a labor pain, I want to be like a man. No, it's not possible. She will endure her pain. This guy will not have that pain.
Yeah, I think who have understood it really in the deeper sense, that you are always alone, can easily take to sannyasa.
Yes, absolutely. And you become vairagya. You will say that, what stupid thing is this? And Lata, I'm seeing it. At my home only I'm seeing it. They are listening to this day in, day out. But they are oblivious to situations. They are on their own makeup. Because the vasanas are playing.
Right. So whenever that vasanas will come up strongly, then it will work. It has to work naturally. So
Exactly. So nothing can be done.
and it will happen. Nobody is forsaken. So it will happen over a period of time naturally to everybody.
Yes, the vasanas, as they diminish, if nothing else is there, that person gets spiritual and there's a transformation and so many things happen. And at that life, people will say, wow, you are such a transformed person and this and that. And then all those things will happen. So it's all gift of vasana. Impression.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Srihari, you want to say something?
No, Vilas. Maybe I will try to understand more in this. And then
Okay, no worries. But do you have anything to say? Otherwise, we'll go to 444.
We can move on.
Okay, 444 is, this is a beautiful shloka, so we will go slowly on this. Prachina vasana vegat asau samshriti iti chet na sadekatva vignanan mande bhavati vasana. Prachina vasana vegat, the speed at which the old impressions come, the past impression. Asau samsrati iti chet. Samsara is samsara. It's just circling around. Asau samsarati iti chet. Chet is of the chit form when you take an action. So if this reason is put forward for going around the objects, na sadekatva vijnanan, no, when there is realization of the truth, mande bhavati vasana, the vasanas becomes weakened and fade away. What it really means. Now, if, like the example I gave, there was fluttering in the heart when I saw that American flag. Now, if I remove America from that flag and consider it is just as a color and some cloth, immediately that America symbol goes away. So the vasanas fade because there is no energy given to it. So, and hence the samsarati, going around, doesn't happen with the object. So three things has to happen. One, the person should become aware of what is happening. That is, in my case, the flutter. Two is that analyze why this flutter happened. So I know that because of the past impression. Three is that now I am not forcing out any impressions, meaning I am not giving any energy to that. If that happens, then slowly in the sense that it's not takes years together, the vasanas will become manda. It becomes really weakened and it fades away. So doesn't mean that if you have vasana you're stuck throughout your life, but you can weaken the vasana and it itself goes away. It requires the consciousness to make the vasanas take into a form of samskara and samskara into karma. So when that doesn't happen, it fades away on its own. So
I
go ahead.
think you don't give attention to those
Details.
thoughts which comes up, and then if you give attention, then it will create more deeper grooves. So it will come more strongly again, even if you don't act on it.
Yes.
Whatever you're coming.
No, it's not. Sorry, Lata, it's not like that. What you need to do is that you shouldn't give details. You shouldn't get into the detail of it. See, when I see a sight, I shouldn't go into the details. I shouldn't go into if I hear a sound, I shouldn't get into the detail. If I taste something, I shouldn't get into detail. Like that, when it comes to the thought, I shouldn't get into the detail.
Yeah. So that's what. No attention or going behind that and thinking a lot about it.
Correct.
Even if you don't do anything, you don't act on it also.
Yes.
It will again create that groove of very deep. So it will again, next time it will come very strongly.
Yes, if you have given some consciousness to it, yes, some interest is shown, that energy has gone there, so it will come out strongly now because that it grows.
Yeah, correct. So I think that's a way also we try to create that grooves of spiritual samskaras by doing those practices. Same thing, right? So you are creating those impressions.
Yes. So what happens here is that I can say that this is my prarabdha. It's a very stupid way of talking, that I'll say, this impression has come due to prarabdha. No, impression has not come due to prarabdha. The impression was there. I am giving energy to it and making it manifested. So I can't put everything on prarabdha and say that, this American thought came because of my prarabdha. No. It's an excuse. So I am in delusion, right? I am in delusion right now. That means I'm still enjoying America while I say that I don't want to visit America. It's like deluding oneself. So if it is a transformation, then I need to look the things they really are. So when that flag is shown, I need to treat a flag as a flag rather than flag as a country. So then the vasanas will fade. Because that is the impression. That is what is the symbol I have created in the mind. So slowly that will go away, because with that symbol only I am able to attach to and create a lot of what we can say the stories around it. So the proliferation happens because of that symbol. So if
that symbol, with that symbol you associate a lot of stories and
yes,
impressions. So once you recognize, all that will come up.
absolutely, they be beyond doubt. So this is how this vasanas play out, and this is how you can eliminate the vasana, both. So then what happens if there are no vasanas? Will you still not go there? Why should I be bothered then? Right? If a question is asked, okay, now the vasanas are not there, agreed, so you have eliminated the vasana to go to America. Okay, great. Now will you go there to America or not? What should be my answer?
If it is required, you will go. Somebody calls you for some lectures, you will go anyway.
You just go, but not to America.
Yeah. So you don't go anywhere in that sense.
Yes, you don't go anywhere in that sense. But for everybody, I have gone to America, but for me, internally, there is no America.
Yeah.
It's just another place, that's all. Anything you want to discuss, Bhatt and Srihari?
It's a good discussion. I think it's a time I have another meeting.
Yes, it is 9:30.
Yeah.
But it is 7 p.m. for you. So you are going to work at the India time?
Now from today I have new technique for me. I started my meetings Indian 6:30 time. Some PDA discussion was there.
Okay.
Somebody said I am okay to discuss. 6:30 started. It will go till 11:30 or so today.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Then I will sleep. So it works. It works well.
Anyway, you are on the other side of it, so it is still.
Yeah.
It's still 7 p.m.
For me, see, I am also a jet lag point of view. I feel fresh now.
Okay.
So till local midnight I can work. Morning, generally I wake up 5:15, something like that. But here I feel sleeping till 7. What do you call it? 8:30, 9:30, no problem.
Okay, good then.
Somehow able to manage this jet lag.
Good. But
If it
drink.
continues, I can continue to work with what do you call it? Like office work. I can do it easily.
Yeah, but be careful. You have to keep drinking a lot of water. Otherwise, it make you dehydrated. Especially jet lag.
That I do.
Okay, then. Good night and good day to the.
Yeah.
To all.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
day.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye.